Hey guys, so I did say that I was going to post a video. Um, I got to see Jane Elliott live in person. She gave an amazing lecture tonight at Towson University. Um, and for those people who don't know who she is, literally just GTS, as Jane Elliott said, Google that shit. Like, put her name in the Google bar, or better yet, put it in YouTube and educate yourself. So this woman's been lecturing and teaching and educating on the issue of racism in this country and how to overcome it for 48 years. 48 years is a very, very, very long time. That's, for some of y'all, the age of your parents. Something like that. Being able to sit front row and meet her was just absolutely amazing. So for the few people who have asked questions, it was, as far as I know, only tonight. It was a lock-in lecture, meaning once they close the doors, you are in there for the duration of the lecture. You cannot get up and leave. We were not allowed to record anything. No pictures were allowed when the lecture started, so literally you're told, like you're back in grade school, put your phone away, put all devices away, no posting, no texting on any form of social media. You can't even get them to go to the bathroom. You were told several times to, go to the bathroom before this starts. No eating, no drinking, none of this. It was, about undivided attention. And that answered the question I had in my head, why are there very limited videos of her lectures, of her experiments, and her teaching style? And it's because her way of doing this is about being engaged and involved in your audience, and you can only do that when people are paying attention. And if you have your audience members with their phones out and they're busy filming and trying to post to social media, they're not paying attention to what you're saying. So it was just absolutely amazing seeing her in person. She is a total spitfire. She definitely intimidated some of the students. But once you meet her and really talk to her, she's an absolute marshmallow. She's so sweet. She's so warm and absolutely genuine. I didn't get a picture with her. I got a picture of her before the lecture started, and I definitely got a chance to get a hug from her, and she was just so sweet. And one of the most amazing things that she said to me, and I was sitting in the front row like a kid in a candy store. I'm just like wide-eyed and I'm smiling, I'm paying attention. And all through this lecture, she's very, very open with her recollection of everything she's gone through in teaching this and in her life and in her interactions. And that's a very honest stance when teaching something like this. And I learned from that you can only teach when you're being really genuine. So I know I'm passionate about the things that I put out on my page, the information, and I know some people, feel some type of way about it, and I get that, but I do that knowing that that's something that's going to happen. I've definitely lost some Facebook friends and possibly some real life friends because of the content that I've posted on my Facebook page, on my Instagram page, and the things that I talk about in regards to social injustice against people of color, hell, against anybody, because it's wrong. It's just wrong. But she said to me, and just meeting me and hugging me, seeing me and recognizing me as a woman of color, and she said, she apologized to me for the state of the country. And not gonna lie, I teared up a bit because I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't at all expecting to hear anything like that. But it gave me a special kind of resolve. And yesterday morning this morning, I woke up to a message from someone that I knew from my childhood, from my teenage years, that I have not spoken to in a year because I deleted her off of my Facebook page because she posted some All Lives Matter content. And it was just a day where I was just exhausted of the back and forth and trying to inform and impart some knowledge on white friends who are on the whole All Lives Matter bandwagon, not realizing that when they say that, it's silencing the actual issue that Black Lives Matter is trying to put forward. So she clearly had noticed, from what I could see for all this time, that I had deleted her until in the wee hours of this morning at 1:54 a.m. she sends the message, and I didn't see it until 5 when I woke up. But it was her point of view illustrated by a video she had attached on her interpretation of why I deleted her, which all in itself was a judgment. Now, I don't have an issue necessarily with technically surface judgments, because it's human nature to do it. But I wasn't judging her when I deleted her. I just didn't want to see the content on my page. And I didn't say anything when I had deleted her. But she sent me the message with the assumption that the video that it's been circulating for a little bit now, where a guy does a social experiment, if you will, and he stands in front of a predominantly white supermarket with a sign that says Black Lives Matter and asks the white patrons going in and out if they supported it. And most said no or ignored him, and only I think about like 2 or 3 said yes. One who said yes with a but. Yes, but I think it should say All Lives Matter. Thanks for the support, and at the same time, kind of throwing it away. And then the flip side of that experiment was the same guy stands in a black neighborhood with a sign that says All Lives Matter, and of course, the response he gets is frustration and anger on the part of the people in the video. So she accused me of basically having the response. And I'm like, I didn't lash out at you. I didn't fuss and cuss at you. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say anything to you. I just deleted you. So who's passing judgment? But long story short, she and I went back and forth that morning, this morning, back and forth in text for 4 hours. 4 hours talking to one white person to get them to understand what the underlying issue is with racism in this country and why how it affects black people and why we perceive it the way we do. And she tried she really did try an All Lives Matter logic, bless her heart. And I don't think she's a bad person. I think that because she's white and she can't relate is why she says the things she says. And her statement in itself is she acknowledges that she has a privilege where certain situations she can't relate because she's white. And I'm like, well, if you get that, why are you saying All Lives Matter? And she said all racism is bad, and it's just it shouldn't happen to anybody. Wrong is wrong. And I'm like, we agree on that. I get that. But the racism that people of color experience is not the same as what you call racism that you experience. And she tried to say, oh no, I've experienced racism because she got picked on for being white, probably, in the wrong neighborhood given her circumstance or whatever it was, or anything remotely close to just discriminatory behavior. And I wasn't discounting that. I was saying, yeah, you could experience some discrimination, some bigotry, some prejudice, but you've never experienced systemic racism. And that's the issue. And I said, you can't say that we're all equal and that all lives matter and we're all the same, because we're not. And I'm like, if we were the same, we would have the same experiences, but we're not. I'm fair-skinned, mixed person, but I'm never going to be viewed as white, and white people let me know that. And I can see the huge difference of the treatment of my friends, my family, and that's a systemic treatment. White people don't fear getting pulled over by the cops the way that black people do. And it's not a guilt situation, it's just a reality for us. We ain't got to do nothing to get shot by cops. That's not something she has to deal with. I pointed out to her systemic racism for people of color is one in which it affects our livelihood. Literally, our ability to move forward in life and in existence. It affects that. That's systemic racism. And when it doesn't affect you, that's because it's not part of your life. And as much as I wish I could say it wasn't part of mine, it is. And it's not because I want it to be, that's just because the way society set it up. Once I pointed this out there, I was like, if it doesn't affect your livelihood, your day-to-day functions, and your yearly functions, then you've not experienced it. And therefore, it's not the same thing. We don't have the same experience, and we're not the same. We're not equal. You want us to be, but we're not. She eventually got it. She apologized, and we understood. But that took 4 hours. 4 hours back and forth with one white person. And in the long run, I can say it's a good thing that I was able to get through and make the point, and now she understands, and maybe moving forward she won't be so cavalier with statements of all lives matter. And maybe she'll speak up and say something to her friends or her neighbors when they throw some racist undertones about conversations and topics and current events. Who knows? One can only hope. And that's Jane's point. 48 years of doing this, she does it because it clearly still has to be done. And, you know, she lets it be known she's frustrated and she's angry and she's tired, she's pissed off that these things are still happening. They're still happening. And she told me that she's sorry I have to live in a country where this is still happening. Man, I want to boo-hoo in this little 4'0" lady's arms. And I was just happy to meet her face to face. But she's so genuine, and if you ever get the opportunity to sit in one of her lectures, man, it's powerful, yo. It's powerful. Like, she's just an amazing woman. But she's always welcome at the cookout. Jane Elliott always got a seat at the cookout, okay?